So yeah, so we applaud you guys for being here.
Mm.
And I love it. Mom life. Yes.
Luckily had the time free in my schedule.
I love that.
And first week was Lifebook Mastery. Fabulous. Okay.
Decisions, how to make the best ones. We're going to touch on decisions, prioritizing.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Okay. Over to you, Dani.
Over to me. All righty. Well, first, as you all know, life happens, right? And sometimes a lot of stuff happens in life. There are those days where we want to do absolutely everything, but the fact is there are 24 hours in a day, and you probably want to sleep and eat on some of those hours. So having, just maybe. So having lots of interests, it's always exciting and invigorating, but the fact is that realistically, we can only do so much at one time, which means we need to make decisions. Yeah. And we need to prioritize our time, and we need to figure out what is absolutely essential to us. And that's the key.
So again, a question to you is, what other things are essential and not happening because you're actually here on this call with us? Now, that doesn't mean to say we want you to leave. Please don't, because we want to take you through how and what you're doing to prioritize and explore those during the event. But it's just a thought process.
Because today it's about looking at what you want and what you need, where you want to go, and figuring out what to leave behind or not to do, what to let go of, and who is supporting you.
And actually, we're supporting you fully and wholeheartedly making decisions and getting clarity, and especially saying no when you need to.
Heidi gave me full permission to say no and to leave something behind. And what has been empowering for me is being able to put something on hold and come back to it or not. So that permission to say no, like, if you need it, take it, because we're giving it to you today.
Yes. Yes, you can have the no banner.
So sometimes we avoid making decisions because we feel stuck. Maybe we don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't want to miss out on things. FOMO is really big right now, right? Maybe we want to do everything. Or how many of you have convinced yourself it's too difficult, or had other various reasons or excuses?
So take time to write down the decisions you're avoiding or haven't made yet. And we're actually going to give you 5 minutes of time to think about decisions you're avoiding making or you haven't made yet, things that you need to decide. So just take a few minutes.
You can just share your thoughts in the chat.
What's coming up for you?
Oh, for me, well, I've actually made quite a few decisions as a result of us creating this. So.
Yes. Yes, me too.
Yeah. You know, for me, it's been looking at the weekly meetings, the projects, how I spend my time, the amount of time I spend on things that fill me up, things that drain me, that serve no purpose, things that push me forward and hold me back.
And the other things to look at is which of your characters are taking center stage. Is it your ego, your saboteur, your controller, or other characters that are part of who you are? and that are preventing you from making a decision or even the right one. You can share those in the chat too. What's stopping that decision making? What came up for you, Dani?
Well, for me, it was the ego, the controller. I like to control things. I like certainty, and the saboteur.
Fear of failure, like certainty. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And the saboteur's great at making sure you get certainty.
Oh, yes.
But so's the ego. And so's the controller. So any one of those three could be keeping you stuck. Keeping you stuck because it's keeping you safe.
Well, safety and certainty have been two big things for me over the last couple of years. So they keep me on my toes.
So whatever you're writing down in your list, write down the character that's controlling it.
Mm-hmm. If you know.
If you know. If it hasn't got a name, don't worry about the name of it. It's about getting to know what's happening and why.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing some fear of failure popping up in the chat.
Yeah.
And that's, that's another big one.
Yeah. And the fear of failure and fear of success is just because you've got conflicting beliefs underneath that. And the beliefs are clashing together and therefore you're stuck. If you can release both of those beliefs, then actually you'll be able to get yourself unstuck. Oh, others' opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So one of the big decisions for me has been looking at how I spend my time. And I've had to make some really hard decisions over the last couple of weeks, because if I want time to do one thing, I need to free up time in other areas. So that has been my big decision, is looking at how I spend my time.
Mm.
Oh, avoiding paperwork.
Yeah. And deep cleaning the home.
Mm-hmm.
My question would be why? What's underneath that? What's stopping that? Starting a lawsuit against someone who broke a contract. You don't know this. No, you don't know their circumstances, but if they owe you money, that's your priority. Potentially. That's for you. Postpone till have enough information, enough skills, enough alignment to make the decision.
Oh, we'll touch on that.
Yeah, we will touch on that one. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, just a few more seconds if there's anything else coming up for anybody.
And you don't have to share, but you do want to really think about what decision you need to make.
Yes.
So when we go through the exercises in this.
Yeah, and what decisions you're not making, more importantly. Yeah. Okay.
Leading is procrastination on something else.
Yes, of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Okay, so look at all of the items that you've listed that you need to make a decision on. And for each one, determine why it is even important to you. How does it fit into your life vision or goals? Who will it serve and why? And how does it feel? I'll just go through that again. For each of the items on your list that you need to make a decision, determine why it's important for you, not for anybody else, but for you. Who will it serve and why? How does it feel? And how does it fit in with your life vision or goals? Does it fill you up or does it drain you even thinking about it? Thank you. And we're going to give you a few minutes to do some reflection on each of those. Dani shared the questions I've just asked in the chat. It's about doing some deeper thinking.
Mhm. So for me, one of the items on my list, like I mentioned before, was how I spend my time. I tend to procrastinate by I go to watch certain videos, or I've realized recently I do things to distract me from things I don't want to do. But I also recently realized I will do things to create a sense of immediate comfort as well.
So what causes you to be distracted or procrastinate, Dani?
Well, this past week it's been typing up notes because I don't want to do it. It's like that actually, like, oh, I know it will help if I do it, but I don't want to do it.
Okay, so how could you rewrite the story in your mind to make it something you look forward to doing? Or even make typing up notes fun?
Well, I could always find another way of, like, I could take pictures of the notes. I could use, is it text to talk, and, do that instead, or I could just play fun music.
Okay, so that's brilliant, because you've already then thought about other ways that you could do the task that makes it something different. You're breaking that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
What else could you do?
I could delegate it. Maybe I can talk to my kiddos, like, hey, you need to work on your typing skills here.
So now, whatever's on your list of decisions, you need to prioritize them. So areas to look at when you're prioritizing is, when's it even due? Is it necessary? Can you delegate it? How important is it really? How long is it going to take? And who could help you?
The key is to remember, if you can't get it done in one go, then what is one small step that you can take to move it forward?
Or what could you do that would take its place and add even more value in your life?
Mm-hmm.
What's coming up for anybody? They're all so busy working on their list.
It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry, my last comment, would I repeat it? What could you do that would take its place and add even more value into your life? Hire someone to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What if I don't get due dates? Does that mean you've not achieved a due date, or you're not being able to create a date? Could you clarify, Susan?
Self-imposed due dates can be challenging.
Yeah.
That is one of the reasons why, especially in the lifebook community, we encourage accountability with a group or partner or person. Accountability usually works best with someone who is going to actually hold you accountable. So
I like that, Sharon. Yes, AI can help with research.
Yes.
AI is amazing. For those in Lifebook, John Butcher talks about that we have on our phones and our apps and so on, we have all of the knowledge of the world at our fingertips. And guess what? AI brings it and condenses it down into what we need to know succinctly in nanoseconds. So yes, AI is amazing. You just have to know the questions you're asking and then not be trusting of the information it gives, because you're not talking to a human. But there's ways of doing that. That's another subject, another day. Okay, I'll move us on. And especially with history, absolutely. So at our base level of human existence, we need certain things to survive, like food, water, shelter, and clothing. And they're all pretty essential. So what next? In Lifebook, we create visions in 12 categories. And the 12th category is the overriding vision for the life we want to live.
So having good physical and mental health is essential to living a fulfilling life, right? If you don't feel good, that is going to affect your life. And we're social creatures. So having meaningful relationships with family, friends, and or community is important. In Lifebook, that's the love relationship, the parenting, and the social life categories.
And then, of course, there's having a sense of purpose, whether it's related to our work, our career, our hobbies, or personal development, which again can come down to intellectual life. That's all essential to feeling fulfilled and an essential element in every category of our Lifebook. But time is also a finite resource, and it's essential to use it wisely to accomplish the very things that matter to us most. So using time well by focusing on what's important and taking ourselves to our vision in life, getting a sense of balance across all areas of our life.
Mm-hmm. Being grateful for what we have and focusing on the positive aspects of life is absolutely essential for mental well-being. And this, in my view, is one of the most important essentials, because gratitude elevates our entire existence. It's the going from okay to extraordinary. It can create a complete shift of mindset that truly transforms each and every moment. When you're seeing it from that sense of gratitude, it's so powerful and empowering. And understanding and living by our core values, it's also essential to living an authentic and fulfilling life. When you stay true to your values by creating effective boundaries, that's really essential too. So we want you to think about, what do you really need?
What is a must for you?
What is most important?
What do you value above all else?
What will impact your life?
And what will create your future? Share in the chat what comes up for you.
What's essential for you?
Maybe it's complete freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom to choose and pursue your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom to achieve your vision.
I love that. Independence, flexibility.
Freedom. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.
Family and joy. What's really essential?
For me, I've learned creativity has become essential. If I'm not creating.
Yeah. I think looking back on before my early stages of Lifebook, and so that's back in 2018, the biggest one for me was forgiveness. Just forgiving, being able and free to forgive no matter what it is and who it is. Because that gave me inner freedom.
I love this. Family, joy, peace, harmony of my mind, body, and heart. Focus on the self. Inner peace, contribution.
Health and an income.
Yes.
Health, big one for me right now. Yeah, absolutely. Because without the health, you haven't got your wealth. So yeah, absolutely.
I think another one for me is compassion, because it's not just about compassion with myself, but others, because it's a two-way street. When we learn to be more compassionate with ourselves, we can therefore be more compassionate with others, which leads to a greater understanding.
Yeah. Values of connection, joy, and freedom. Beautiful. And for everyone who is in Life Book, balance across all 12 categories, because without the balance, we become unstable. So it's what are the things that we need to do that's truly essential, that's going to create the balance? What is that? What are they? And how are we going to maintain them? Yeah. We've already covered joy. And of course, love. Love for me is an essential.
Yeah.
And that's about love for myself. And then loving those that are close to me, that I value. Which makes me then think about, who do I love and value? Well, it's people that I've got an authentic relationship with. Because that's true to my values. So that becomes essential. Unconditional love and boundaries. Yes. Making a positive impact. Because that's about, that's about mattering, that you matter because of what you're creating in a bigger, wider world. Which comes back to purpose of why you're here. Yeah, to make a difference. There's some beautiful stuff, beautiful things coming here. Love it.
Are we ready to move on to the next?
I think we are.
Take action. You hear this all the time, right? So are you just thinking about what you might do, or are you taking action? So when you know where your focus is going, you know where to invest your time and your energy. And when you know where to invest your time and energy, you know what is important and essential.
Make a decision on what you want to invest your time and energy into. Then you must take the monumental step from thinking to actually taking action. Moving from thinking to taking action can be a challenging process, and we know that. But there are several steps that could help.
Number one, define your goals. And if you are in the Lifebook Mastery program, guess what you get to do over the next couple of weeks? You are going to start by defining, you have started with your life vision. So you start by defining what you want to achieve. And this is going to help you clarify your priorities and understand what actions you need to take to achieve your goals.
And then you're going to break it down. Because once you've defined your goals, you break them down into smaller, more manageable tasks. And that makes the process feel less overwhelming, and it allows you to focus on taking action, just one task at a time.
Create a plan. Develop a plan that outlines the steps you need to take to achieve your goals. And this will help you stay organized and focused. And everyone's plan will be different.
Exactly. And how you plan it will be different.
Yes.
Because it will be yours.
Exactly.
And the next one's going to be take action. Because it's easy to get stuck in analysis paralysis when you spend too much time thinking about what you need to do and not enough time actually doing it or doing anything. So take the first step and start working on just one of the tasks in your plan, just one.
Track your progress. As you start taking action, track your progress and make adjustments to your plan as needed, because plans go awry. It would be lovely to have the perfect plan, but something can always happen.
Yeah.
So when you have a plan, it will help you to stay on track. And it will help you identify areas where you may need to invest more time and energy as well.
And then, of course, you need to stay motivated. And that can be challenging. It's one of the most challenging pieces of all is staying motivated when you're working towards even a longer term goal, or maybe a short, medium short term goal. So what do you do to stay motivated? Celebrate your successes along the way. Celebrate every task that you complete, because that's a success. And remember why you started this in the first place. What was the vision that you're taking yourself to? And remember that taking action requires effort and commitment, but the rewards are worth it. And keeping that vision or that goal in mind makes it worth it. Staying focused and taking consistent action towards your goals, you can achieve the results that you want.
So I am going to put a link into the chat because we've touched on these in other events that we have done.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Okay, so who is supporting you? This is something we often forget, and yet it is extremely important. Having and creating a support system for yourself. A support system can offer help, guidance, knowledge, expertise, encouragement, and more. And even a simple act of accountability can make all of the difference.
And it can make the difference between our perceived success or failure, achieving our goals and vision or not, feeling great or not.
So who is your support system?
Who are your connections and for what?
What value do you offer each other?
Where will you go to get help from? Who will you get help from?
Who are you accountable to?
Who do you go to for advice?
Who do you go to for guidance?
Support is actually available everywhere. Our friends and family, professional people, specific support groups or expertise.
Check your local community, online support groups, accountability groups.
And don't forget, if you're working in a workplace, you've got workplace resources too.
There's also personal development communities like Lifebook, Mind Valley, Tony Robbins community, and more. There's so many out there.
And recognizing when you need support and then taking steps to get the help you need is a sign of strength.
So I love this. If you, Debbie has shared that she has a support group. So I would love for you to share your support, if you have a support network, who is it, or who is your go-to support network and why?
What makes that valuable?
Yeah.
Why is it working for you? And what more do you need?
Yeah. And if you're looking for a support group, if you don't have one, feel free to share what you'd like in your ideal support group.
What do you need? I like the word adopted by. I love that. Yeah. A weekly manager. Is that to keep you focused, keep you on track, or for somebody to do things for you? Yes. And
It's
in
wonderful when you all speak the common language, whether that be personal development wise or in the life book community. Everyone gets excited. It's like, oh, we all speak the same 12 categories, sacred choices.
Yeah, we understand each other.
Yeah.
And what others are going through.
Mm-hmm.
I need a consistent appointment I keep with myself and my support. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And of course, in Lifebook, we do run weekly calls. We alternate.
Mm-hmm. Coaches help. Are they great?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Yes, common philosophy too. Accountability partner, absolutely essential.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
I want to point out too that sometimes I know quite a few people who have reached out to have online support or long distance support because they don't currently have that in their community. And that is okay. Like, it's what works best for you. And sometimes where we are physically in a community, if people may be speaking a different language than we are. So you figure out what works best for you.
Yeah. I like that, Godson. My wife and children are my readily available support.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And do you know what? If you've got a decision to make and you ask a young child, what decision would they make? Don't underestimate the response they'll give you, because they'll look at it through their lens, which is simplified and hasn't got all of your baggage wrapped around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's quite an eye-opener, because they're amazing.
Mm-hmm. One of the other things that was pointed out in the chat is being aware of who doesn't support you is important.
Yes.
Because if you want to move ahead with your goal, you want a cheerleader, you want someone who's going to encourage you. If you share something like that is personal to you, an achievement that you want to make, and someone says, oh, well, you don't need to be doing that, or you can't do that, that's just going to get in the way of what you want. So
absolutely,
when you have a supportive person or community to talk to, you can share those dreams with. And instead of finding a community and a support where people lift you up instead of pulling you down. I think we've all probably been in that party or in that group where you're sharing a conversation with someone, and then you've got the person who is just immediately starts criticizing or nitpicking. And ask yourself, do you really, when you share your goals, when you share your dreams, when you share your life vision, you want to share it with someone who's going to be like, yeah, that's great. Let me lift you up. Let me support you through this, as opposed to the person who is going to look for everything possible.
Everything that's wrong with it. Yes, exactly. But equally, you want somebody in accountability that's not going to be the yes, 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 yes.
Exactly.
That they're actually going to challenge you by asking you questions and pushing you and saying, is that the right thing for you? Why is it? And it's taking that, what you're looking for to support you, but making sure that you're doing your due diligence and check and balances. But equally that you're pushing yourself forward and that you're taking that step. You're making the decisions.
Yes.
You're making those key decisions. I like this, Yvonne. Pass things by your daughter's age 16 and 20. Oh, yes, you'll very much learn from their perspective. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to move us on.
Alrighty.
And we're going to do a meditation.
Woohoo!
To get into our creative energy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be we will be using creative energy.
We will.
So in today's visualization meditation, for those of you who are just joining us, the way that I do these is there's going to be questions, there will be things for you to imagine. And if you're an auditory person, just listen, go with the flow. If you're a visual person, there's a chance to visualize. and kinesthetic wise, there's a little bit of, I try to put a little bit of everything.
So before Dani starts, I just want to ask people if they could drop into the chat, how do you feel right now? Yeah. You've gone through all of that, writing down decisions and that process that we took you through. So how do you feel right now? Just drop into the chat. Yeah, a bit overwhelmed, grounded. Good. Ready to tackle the calendar?
I love it.
Inspired to get more clarity. I'm sad. Okay. And these are all good to feel. That might sound a bit bizarre, but they are all good to feel because you're feeling them. You're recognizing exactly where you are right now. You're conscious and aware of how you feel right now.
And it's important.
Yeah.
Because how we feel also affects how we make decisions.
Yes. Already in spiritual mood. Lovely. Okay.
All right. So
let's go then.
Before we begin, I like to encourage most of you, because you're doing this event, probably have something that you're taking notes on anyway. So I always encourage people to have a journal to take notes or an electronic device after you've done this meditation. We'll give you a few minutes at the end, just jot some notes. We will be providing on the YouTube channel just this meditation so that you could go back and revisit it. Remember, if while doing this, if you start finding yourself thinking, oh, I can't do that, or I can't envision it, just go with the flow. You've set the intention. So on an energetic level, you will be doing things. So if we ask you to visualize something and or if we ask you to get specific and maybe you feel a little blurry, just go with the flow. And just imagine what just set the intention that it's happening.
Your subconscious is allowing it all the time.
Yes.
Your subconscious is working for you all the time.
Yeah. So you trust that energetic, intentional, and subconscious level that you are doing the work. And it's okay. Sometimes some of these meditations, you might need to come back when you're a little clearer. That's okay. But the first time you do it, just be open. Know that there is no wrong way to do these. There's no wrong way to do this. Everything is just, you're right where you need to be. All right. So as we've discussed, when we have a lot on our proverbial plates and our to-do lists are pages upon pages, and we are feeling that sense of urgency or overwhelm or sadness or scattered, it's really important that we deal with our state first, because these states can actually keep us from making decisions or affect our decision making. So we want to figure out if we want to figure out what needs to be done or move forward, it's really important to consider what state we're in. Because if you tend to freeze up, avoid, procrastinate, or any other means because you don't know what step to take next, or you're just feeling like heavy, then this is why you're here today. This is what this meditation visualization is going to help with. Okay, you ready? So let's begin. Just sort of sit straight up in your chair. Let your spine align over your hips. You can close your eyes. And then you close your eyes, really feel yourself sitting on the chair. We're going to take a big breath in, inhale in, and imagine your breath grabbing any tension in your body. And then as you exhale, release that tension. Inhale, breathe in, grab the tension. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, breathe in. Grab onto any tension with that breath. And exhale. release. Whenever you feel stuck, whether it's in an emotion or mentally, creating a movement of any kind is helpful. Breathing, walking, stretching. So what I'd like you to do, keeping your eyes closed, just inhale and lift your arms up above your head. Bring your palms together. And as you exhale, bring your palms down in front of you, down in front of your heart. Inhale your arms up once more. Bringing your palms together. As you exhale, bring your hands and arms down in front of you. Inhale your arms up. Bringing your palms together. And exhale. Bringing your palms and your arms down. Just shake your arms a little, let them relax. And now, keeping your eyes closed, imagine that you are looking up. So lift your head as though you're looking up at the ceiling as far as comfortable. And as you exhale, let your head, let your chin relax, let your neck relax so you're looking down. Inhale, eyes still closed. Lift your head up as though you are looking at the ceiling. And exhale, let your head come down. Relax. One more time, inhale, look up, eyes closed. And exhale, just let your head settle where it would normally. And just feel your alignment. Feel the chair beneath you. And imagine that you are grounded and centered. And just breathe. So we're going to do a body scan right now. Set an intention that with this scan, you will become aware of where in your body you are feeling stuck or overwhelmed or tense. So we're going to go through, and I want you to notice any areas that feel tight or heavy. So if we go down to our feet, how do your feet feel? Your legs. Just notice how they feel. Your hips. How does your back feel? Your belly. Remember to breathe. How does your chest feel? Your shoulders. Your neck. Your face. How does your forehead feel? How does the tip of your head feel? What about inside? Within you, do you notice anything around any of your organs or tissues or blood? Notice the sensations in your body and where they are. Just be aware. So on the next inhale, we're going to inhale and let your breath go to each section where you might be stuck or overwhelmed or feeling heavy. So inhale in. Imagine your breath going where it needs to be, grabbing onto that, and then exhale, releasing it. Inhale, breathe in to where you are stuck or tense in your body. And exhale, release. Let your body move side to side to help the flow. We're letting go, we're moving it out. Inhale once more, breathing into those spaces. And exhale, release. And you can do this a few more times if you need to. You can go back and do this. And for now, place your hands upon your heart and lift your chest up by a few centimeters so that your chest is high. Inhale in. Exhale with a sigh. You're going to give yourself some love right now. Take time to thank your body for being here in this moment and all that it has done for you. It makes sure that you are nourished with food and oxygen. It moves for you. Because of our bodies, we move. Because of our bodies, we breathe. Because of our bodies, we have thoughts. Because of our bodies, we can make decisions, prioritize, and figure out what is essential to us. Think back to a time when you knew what you wanted and you knew what you needed to do. Go back, be in that moment. And if it's a little challenging for you, then imagine someone you admire for their decision making, a role model. And imagine that either they are you or you are them so that you are connected to them in some way. How does it feel when you are confident in a decision? Where in your body do you feel that confidence, that knowing? And how does it feel knowing what comes next? How does it feel that knowing? How does it feel knowing that regardless of what you decide, that you know that you will learn and move forward? Connect with some of your senses. What do you see? What are you focused on? Are you focused on the confidence, the learning experience, the fact that you know what to do? And what kind of messages do you hear? Do you hear words like, I've got this. This will all work out. I can do this. This will be amazing. Maybe you hear something else along those lines. Inhale, exhale. Just be present with yourself and that feeling. Hold on to that feeling of confidence. And you can keep your hands on your heart, or you can let them relax. But now we're going to use our imagination. And before you, you'll see piles of all that you want to do, need to do, and think you should do. And these could be sheets of paper, shapes, images, whatever calls to you, however you want to envision your to-dos, your tasks. And if you feel overwhelmed, put those hands back on your heart and take a deep breath in. Exhale and release. Be aware of your hands on your heart and continue to breathe. And connect back to that moment of confidence, what it feels like when you know what to do, and just breathe. So if at any time you feel yourself getting tense, put those hands back on your heart and breathe. I want you to imagine a container of white light or any color light before you. And on this container is the word essentials. As you look at the piles before you, fill this container with what is essential to you from the pile. What do you fill it with? Water, food, sleep, family, gratitude, health, peace, compassion, creativity. What do you want to put in this box? And you can do this in any way. You can imagine everything rising up and going into the box. You can imagine putting it in one by one, whatever is easiest for you. This is the box for that which is most important to you. This is the box of things your life depends on. Now look at what is left of those piles in front of you. Maybe they're still pretty big. Imagine 2 other containers of light that appear next to what is left with the words now and later. What before you is important and must be done now or in the next week? Imagine putting these things into the now box. And if you aren't sure, just set the intention that you are putting those things into the now box. Into the later box, put those important things that you know you need to do, but they can wait. Remember to breathe. Inhale in. Exhale, release. You're doing great. Now, look at what is left and not in the box. And imagine another box. And this one says delegate. What can you put into this box? Imagine filling this box up with those to-dos that you can let another person handle or help you with. And if there were things in the other boxes that will fit in this box, you can move them if you need to. And finally, whatever is left, imagine putting these things into a box with the word eliminate. If you come across something you feel you absolutely cannot eliminate, put it in the later box to be dealt with later. So before you, you have a container of essentials, a container of now, a container for later, a container to delegate, and a container to eliminate. Stand before your container of essentials. Is there anything that needs immediate attention from you? And if so, what is it? Let it rise to the top of the box. This is your ultimate priority. Is there anything else in this box that needs your attention? If so, take note and action. Now, look at your container of now and imagine that the next thing you need to do rises to the top of the box. What is it? Is there anything else that catches your attention in the now box? Look at your priority from the essentials box and compare it to the priority from the now box. Make a conscious decision in this moment to take the action that is right for you. Is the priority of the now more urgent than the essentials? Which one will you choose? Remember, you can visit any box at any time and compare what is in them to take action or use them to inspire future lists and actions. You can also move things to different boxes if it feels right to you. So if they aren't already there, place your hands back on your heart and just breathe. Feel your hands over your heart as you breathe in and exhale. Take a moment to celebrate the energetic organizing of your tasks. Take a moment to feel gratitude for taking the time today to pause to do the work. Today you made decisions. Today you prioritized. Today, you figured out what is essential to you, and take a moment to celebrate that feeling. Breathe it in. Breathe in again. Exhale and relax. Now press your palms together and your fingertips together so you feel pressure. Push those arms and then gently let that release. Wiggle your toes. Let your body sway back and forth. And gently open your eyes. Take a few moments to write down any observations from your experience. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us in the chat.
That was beautiful, Dani. Thank you, Godson.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I love that. You're so welcome.
Fantastic. Yeah. Clarity is absolutely essential.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just lose sight of it. We lose sight of what's essential.
And remember, you can go back throughout the day today or over the weekend and add more to your essentials list, add more to your, this is not set in stone. This is just, when Heidi and I do these, it's just to get you motivated and to get you started. You can always go back and revisit and ask yourself questions.
Too much I want to do now. So what's essential? What's really essential about the wanting to do now? Yeah.
And since we're talking about essentials, I want to mention there is a book by Greg McEwen called Essentialism, which John has mentioned about in the Life Book community, which is also very powerful and has some exercises to help you figure out the essentials as well.
So Debbie, how do I reframe kitchen work? My mum used to punish me by making me take care of all the dishes from setting the table to drying, putting away when I was a teenager. We were a family of 6. I didn't have a dishwasher. That was me. So I found I hate being in the kitchen.
I can answer this one, unless Heidi, you want to go first?
Well, I'm just going to say it is about reframing it. What would somebody need to believe to thoroughly enjoy themselves in the kitchen? What would somebody have to believe in order for that to be a joy and a pleasure? So that's my question to you, Dani.
So I have a couple ideas that you can take or leave. So in my family, the kitchen was for dancing. Literally, I have pictures going way, way back to my dad and my grandparents. They would play music and dance in the kitchen. So we have pictures of my grandmother in her little apron and she's dancing around with dishes, because they didn't have dishwashers back then. And I have photographs of they were dancing with each other. And so that made it fun. So perhaps you can play music while you're doing the dishes, or now if you have a dishwasher, there's actually where did I see this? This was years ago. There was a prayer that you could say while washing dishes, and it was simply something, I don't remember it exactly, but it was along the lines of, with each dish I bless my family, with each dish I wash, I am thankful for this food. So how can you put gratitude into that experience? How can you make it fun and playful? Look at your essentials. What is essential to you? So for me, gratitude is absolutely essential, as well as playful and fun.
Yeah.
So I would look at those three things, and how can I apply that to washing dishes or being in the kitchen?
How could you be curious around the dishes that you're washing?
Mm-hmm.
Who ate from that plate? Who used that fork? How do you feel about them? How did they enjoy what they had? Create a story. Get creative in your mind and create a story around what you're doing. And create a different story each day, each time.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Change the story in your mind. That's essentially what we're saying to you, is change the story, and you can.
Change your story, change your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I forget who said that. It is from someplace,
yeah,
but
exactly.
I don't know exactly who it was, because I have heard it, so many people say it.
Yeah.
And so many times I don't know where it originated, but we have the power to, that's why Heidi and I do what we do. It's to show you that you have a choice.
Yes, you do have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you're thinking now, you can change it to a different thought.
Yes.
Because you have that power.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep working on your story. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's really struggling, then put on some really loud music, dress up and dance while you're doing it. Have fun. Do a Freddie Mercury, Queen, in your kitchen.
Yeah. Another thing too is when you catch yourself doing old patterns or old thoughts, how can you interrupt them?
Yes.
Tony Robbins has you do crazy things, from like dancing around like a chicken, speaking in different voices, sticking your finger up your nose. Really, you don't think it works, but anything that will interrupt that thought. And then you're like, it makes it silly.
My son asked me to turn that music down when I was playing music to clean the house. Good for you. Good for you.
Music can make most things fun. So especially if you get like a good beat that like makes you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
Amazing.
Okay.
So our closing thought for today, we end each of these with the closing thought, is I value myself by taking essential action.
So actually the acronym of this is having tea. Have tea. Take essential action. Have tea, which is quite amusing. Being as that's one of Dani's favorite drinks, but that's beside the point. That's another story. Yeah, absolutely. So Dani and I will be actually running an 8-week program later this year with a complete focus on tea, taking essential action. And the program will take you through defining your essential action, decision to commit, craft the steps you need to take, complete tasks along the way, overcoming limitations, barriers and beliefs. There'll be 8 weekly live calls with Dani and myself, and guidance, support and coaching provided in each call. It will be a paid for event and there will be limited places. So somewhere around 6, 8, maybe 10, but we're working on that. And then in addition to that, we're planning a tea support group. We're also planning tea retreats, online and in person. So if you're interested in any of those, and this is not a commitment, it's just expressing an interest into that program or support group or the retreats, or would like to request specific subjects for future events that you'd like us to cover, then we'd just like to ask you to drop your name into an event wait list, and you'll be able to tick any that or all that you're interested in. And we'd love to hear from you, because this is about us creating things for the future for people. So if anyone's interested, there's a form there, Google form, and you can just drop your details in there and just pick what you're interested in. And we'd love to hear from you.
That's Heidi and I taking our tea or essential action.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. And actually stepping forward.
Yep.
And helping people go forward with us. So the details are there. So finally, are there any questions, thoughts, shares or feedback on today's event? Or indeed the opportunity of future programs. Anything you want to share in the comments? Love to hear from you. Thank you, Debbie.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Most importantly, did you enjoy today's session? Was it valuable? Of value? Has it helped you in some way? Even if it's just given you food for thought.
Thank you. And for those of you who are getting ready to look at your life vision and from that create your goals and down, move it down to the actions that you are going to be taking, enjoy yourself. And I hope that you can take from this and use this to help you figure those things out as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Better frame of mind to speak with darling daughter.
Oh,
feel more organized in your thinking. That's beautiful, because this is where it all starts. And on both of those comments, take the deep breath. Just close your eyes and take the deep breath before you're going to step forward with anything. Give yourself that 30, 60, 90-second rule of before I take a step forward, before I answer, before I react, before I do anything, let me just take myself into me, into now. Many pieces of it. Deal with your state. Yes, first. Connect with feeling. Yeah, absolutely. Stick your finger in your nose.
Yep. It works.
So you're all going to sit here now like this.
One of the things too, the reason why we had you go through in the meditation and put things in boxes is even if you don't know every little thing that was on that paper or those things that you imagined, just the act of energetically imagining them going into boxes. So if you are at a place where you can always just go into your head and imagine, even if you don't know specifically what it is, you're going to feel better because you've taken that proverbial action.
Yes.
And you've imagined it. And remember, the stories we tell ourselves, the perspectives that we have on our lives, that is what we give meaning to it. And that is, that creates a result and an outcome. So it's thinking about, what are you creating? What are you putting out there?
Quick question, Johan, you've asked, can we put the link in the chat? Which link are you asking for? Just to double check, is it the one that we provided earlier or a different one? I want to make sure that everybody's got what they need. Oh, so there's right. So that if
I'll put it in. I'll
put it back in again. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It kind of got. So this is the link. If you're interested, it is a form that you can fill out.
Yeah. It's just an interest. It's not committing you to anything.
Yeah, you're not committing to anything. No. We love to create things and want to know what you want from us in the future. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just in terms of all of our events over a year now, it's all on our YouTube channel, and we'd really appreciate and love it if you subscribe to the channel. And also share with your network of friends where you think any of our events would be useful to them. Because that's about making our value out to the wider world. It helps us too. All of our event recordings, meditations, they're all visible on our channel, on our Facebook group, Instagram, and we've got Telegram as well. The channel is called Inner Freedom, Outer Vision. And that all goes back to right back to the very beginning of we had found our inner freedom, which actually helped us with our outer vision of what we were trying to achieve for ourselves, and equally as what we're trying to do together. Thank you.
Yeah. So the YouTube channel is in the
chat.
So you can check out other stuff that we've done. And every time we do an event, we always do the meditation separate.
So they're always there on the, yeah. They're typically, I mean, the meditation is usually there ahead of time. This one's not. It will be there over the weekend. And also the recording from this event will be on the YouTube channel over the weekend too.
As
Most likely Sunday to Monday. So yeah. Sunday to Monday UK time. I'll just say that. Just set the expectation. So thank you. Thank you. Have a fabulous weekend.
Yes. Thank you guys for being with us today. And, you know, you can find us where we have listed below. And we're also in Lifebook membership.
Our next event will be next month. So we may see you there too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Lovely to see you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.